Welcome to my latest podcast series, One Life. My name's Terence Wallace, and I'm the writer and publisher of a weekly essay entitled Indelible Adventures, and I'm your host. This podcast series sets out to prompt and challenge your thinking about life and what it means to really live your life. I'll share with you my insights and personal experiences with the sole objective of getting you to reflect and think about your approach to living your best life. So let's get started. This week's topic is entitled Limitless. All week I've been ruminating on the concept of our inner potential. I truly believe we have so much more than we give ourselves credit for and ultimately utilize. From an early age, we've been told, or at least I told my son and daughter, Zach and Sam, that they could be anything if they put their mind to it. Isn't it interesting that as we age, we gain more experience, yet we pigeonhole ourselves into a life and career that is based on our past? This, I believe, is truly limiting behavior. Now just imagine for a moment if you were able to break free of your old mindset and indeed your comfort zones to create a new reality. It's at this juncture that I truly believe we're able to tap into our limitless potential and become who and what we want in our lives. I can hear you all now thinking that I'm totally crazy, am I right? We need to realize that we are our biggest barrier to living this type of life. We've become accustomed to taking this easy road and accepting our lives just as they are. Trust me, there is nothing wrong with that if that's what you're okay with. However, for many of us who aren't satisfied with living the same humdrum life and living it on someone else's terms, it's a conundrum that requires our attention. In fact, this past week, I've had a number of you come up to me and ask me advice about how to create the life that you've always wanted. I believe it comes down to changing our mindset, pure and simple. Since leaving our childhoods, our brains have confined us to only what is practical, pragmatic, and risk-averse, the things that are in front of us at this very moment, which is based on our history. This, my friends, is called the safe zone. Yep, I know what you're thinking. We all have responsibilities and can't just drop everything on a whim and do what we want. But deep down, there is still a child in each of us, all screaming, but what if? The question is, how do we tap into our inner child where anything is possible? The first thing we need to do is calm the inner voice in our heads and be open to the possibilities. We need to create a space for limitless thinking. Now, to have the life you've always wanted, I suppose the question is, what are you willing to do to create that type of life? To change our mindset, ultimately, we must rewire our brains. Without even imagining what we want or where we want to be in life, we need to rethink how we view ourselves. Here's just a few of the aspects that we need to consider on our journey. First and foremost is that we must accept ourselves for who we are and understand that we are enough, just as we are. Loving and accepting of who we are, our values, our beliefs, our contribution, our very being, including all of our foibles and insecurities, is vital as we move forward. I've talked about self-love in a prior podcast, and it really is a touchstone for living our best life. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to that podcast, go back and take a listen. In today's world of social media, we often get caught up comparing ourselves to others. One of the many beautiful things about each of us is that we are unique and important in our own way. The sooner we stop comparing ourselves and just be, the sooner you'll be able to move forward without any expectations. Another aspect to consider is, as I've said before, your concept of success and mine are completely different, and that's okay. Remember, life is not a race, it's a journey of discovery. Another key consideration is that when we live our best lives, we're in the moment, without being tied to outcomes that often drive a lot of stress. If we focus on living our best lives, the outcomes will take care of themselves. Another important aspect is that we need to understand that our self-talk, the little voice in our head, is one of the most constant things in our day-to-day lives. And it's vital that we change this soundtrack to being open and positive about who we are, our choices, and our achievements. Now, clearly, this isn't an exhaustive list by any means, but creating an open and limitless mindset is fundamental to living life on your terms. I'm going to suggest a little homework for you. Isn't that fun? The first one is to watch or listen to the short video about creating a no-limit life by Wayne Dyer. This has been instrumental for me personally, and I would highly recommend it. Again, you could watch or listen to it on YouTube. And again, Wayne Dyer, and the episode is called No Limit Life. The second bit of homework is to pick up a copy and read the book entitled The Miracle Equation by Hal Elrod. Again, another personal recommendation that I've enjoyed reading the book, and it's the concepts encapsulated within it, and I think you might get something out of it as well. The final piece of homework is to listen to the audiobook by Gabby Bernstein entitled The Universe Has Your Back. As you know, I'm not a religious person in the traditional sense, more spiritual than anything else, and therefore I had to look past some of the material that Gabby had on offer and take it to a spiritual plane. Like me, try not to get caught up in the language per se, but look past it to see the broader concepts. A key part of changing your mindset is understanding differing points of view, and I think Wayne Dyer and Hal Elrod and Gabby Bernstein provide that in spades. And more importantly, I think the common threads are the ones that I identified and that can be easily digested and reflected upon. Changing your mindset to living each day with gratitude, focusing less on outcomes and what people think about you, and more on your personal journey towards happiness, contentment, and peace is the objective. Changing your mindset is an inside job. It starts with you, and if you want to live a limitless life, full of possibilities and potential, then this is the first step. Remember, you have the power within yourselves to create a limitless life. Is it time? If you'd like to learn more about Indelible Adventures and the products and services we provide, please take a moment to visit our website at www.indelibleadventures.com. Indelible Adventures is one word. Thanks for listening, and look forward to hosting you again soon. All the best.